A pleasant good evening to each and everyone in Georgetown, Guyana, and the diaspora. Friends all, as you might be aware that I would like you to subscribe to this channel and press the bell so you will get the next updated video. I sit down here today and was wondering, must I do a video to speak what is taking place around the world? As you might be realize that the whole world right now is at war. What are they fighting for? This has been going on for ancient days, even on to now. Tribal affair. Every country, the whole of Africa, India, China, America, Russia, you name it, there's a problem. But Latin and South America, North America, and the Caribbean, there's a bigger problem. Before I go and continue about Guyana and what's taking place in the Caribbean, let me send my great condolence to our Jewish ancestors, friends and family, and to the Palestinian people. Which brings me back into the Caribbean, Central South America. I have seen a lot of demonstration around the world. And yes, as humans, we feel for our brothers who are losing their life and our sisters, children. Regardless of languages, culture, or nationality, we are human beings. We were created by a supreme being called God Almighty, misled by another evil being called Lucifer the devil, or Satan or Shaitan. But today, we have so many problems. The 21st century, we have problems around the world, but thanks to God that we can see it on cell phone. What is happening in Israel should not have happened. And the great United States of America, they have to understand, because I'm here, I'm a citizen here, we will go, if we have to go to war, we all will live armed to defend this democracy and human rights. But when members of Congress and President and others are taking side, one have to question the opinion, what is taking place in this world? Are they gone mad? Are they forgot how America was founded? The great ancestors in the past slaughtered the indigenous people, the Apaches, and all other Indian tribes among the 9 that was living here. But after the revolution, we gained the independence in 1776, if I remember right. So we cannot blame those today for the past criminals who say they conquer land, kill innocent people. Why am I bringing this up? Which one of you in the mainland of America, Mexico, to Argentina, and the Falkland and the Caribbean could condemn Israel? Raise your hand. The United Nations is taking vote from hypocrites in the Caribbean, Latin, South America, and other countries that is not ruled by the people themselves who belong to those countries. So how could you condemn Israel for what they are doing, even though they are committing crime against humanity and it's genocide? So I ask this question. We condemn Adolf Hitler. We condemn Ho Chi Minh, Saddam Hussein, as our Jamaican friends and brothers, Mr. Powell, have done something when he showed a picture to the world that Saddam have nuclear device, mass destruction. We have problem. Unto this day we cannot see it. The man is dead and gone. Then we see the little boy in North Korea firing a missile every month, 1 or 2, and something is not right. And we have a right to condemn it as human beings, civilizedly.
I have a question.
But in America, I would ask the Congress, the President, whether you like it or not, is nothing personal. We are backing Israel at this moment. But we ask a question. What about the life of the Palestinians? What about the life of other people? But when we've been attacked in Pearl Harbor, we give Japan 2 bombs. If they didn't surrender, we would have wiped them out. My friends, just bear with me 1 second. Let me take a question from a colleague here. Yes, sir.
Right. I understand that. I totally agree. The only thing I have a problem as a U.S. citizen, why do we support genocide? I understand the attack. I get it. People are mourning. It's hurtful. And we saw the video. But
thank you.
We know Hamas is using civilians as targets.
Shield.
Or shield. How do we defend against it?
Well, I'm coming.
Know we know we, please, I just
yeah, well, I'll answer it.
Sorry.
First, to begin with, who is Hamas? How would you like to know you're living in your house, but you accept the people coming from Latin and South America through the border of California and Texas? You give them a chance to enter the U.S. After 3-4 years, they're bulldozing American house. Chasing them away, what would you do? Killing your family, what would you do? We are only human, we are here temporary. If God could fight with the devil and throw him and the angel of him out of heaven, we are human and God is forever, Lucifer is forever. None of we see them, but we talk about them. And if America, the country that we will die for, fight for, defend by all costs, our president, our Congress people must learn to understand if you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're right, you're right. Who is Hamas? Wait, who is Hamas? You bulldoze my house. You kill my father, but I'm a child of 10 years of age. I will do everything necessary to get me to come back to you. Revenge have no boundary. Friends, when Bin Laden crew and others hit the Pentagon, hit World Trade Center, we have lost a lot. And we feel it every year. 9/11, we lay wreath, we give fancy speech, but we cannot bring back our brothers and sisters. And I want you to understand, we will defend America regardless of the cost. But who are there to tell Israel they're wrong when we ourselves in America, Caribbean, and others from those Europeans who give us this country, like England, Spain, France, and others, we are accepting land don't belong to us, but belong to some other nation that Columbus said he discovered when there were people here already.
Exactly.
Next question.
Telling me. So you don't think we actually expanded our resources by funding the Ukraine war? That is true. And then we are not only not funding Ukraine, we're funding Israel war that is triggering other nations, which is the ceasefire. Hold on. I understand everything that has transpired. We as humans we are emotional beings. We are emotional beings. When we take a loss, when we take a death, when we take a suffering, anything that triggers emotion. And right now, I don't think that this is not war. In my eyes, I served war. And there's been plenty of casualties on both sides. But what I'm seeing, I don't see troops. I don't see casualties of troops. I see casualties of civilians. And when I see things like that, I consider that as genocide on both sides. I'm almost done. It hurts my heart to see what we become, what we forsaken, and what is going on.
Preach.
I see that we have no respect, no remorse, no dignity for human life. And that triggers all the way back to the community.
May I
address it?
And if I gotta say this, and I want to say this last note. we as grown folks, I understand everybody has different beliefs and different religions, different gods, different this. But at the same time, we all bleed the same color. We all breathe the same air. If we can't talk, if we can't compromise, with the 247, it keeps going up. Now they start from 150 to 100 to 180 to 210 to 100 to 247 hostages. And what the thing is, and I understand this game, we release one, release two. All right, you see, relax. Y'all don't understand. This is guerrilla warfare, just with sand and concrete. And I want you to understand too, America is always jumping into war. We fund this, we fund that, we fund that. Do you understand we only have 400 and something, so 472,000 soldiers? That is Army, Navy, Marine, and Army forces. Wolf, stop it. No, we're not talking about it, but we're going to talk about it. I don't care about cancellation. I don't care about being searched by this and that CIA. I know a lot, and I understand because I do research. I pay attention. I understand what's going on. Wolf, I am a veteran, Marine Corps. I got this only discharged for a reason. Look me up.
Wolf. May I?
But all I understand the hurt, I understand the pain. And as a human being, you want vengeance. You want revenge. The thing about how many people, innocent people, even if Palestinians, a lot of it's an ongoing conflict. I understand the Jews, I believe it. But wrong is wrong, right is right.
May I continue now?
George.
Can you answer that?
As you listen to the brother with his anger towards humanity and what's taking place, because he feels for the fellow human like himself, and he understands the criteria as a military man, as he says, so he's very full of passion because he knows wrong. And yes, you have a right to be angry over this, because every time we get in a problem, our young men and women, fathers, brothers, uncle, nephew, go to the battlefield while the president, Congress people are hiding in bunkers. Friends, today, America must know your friends. If your friend is wrong, they're wrong. If they're right, they're right. We must not shed American blood to defend our friend when they are wrong. Simple. I am not saying that the Jews of Israel are wrong or the Palestinians, but I'm asking a question. If those people that come in through the border of Mexico into California and Texas, few months and a couple of years after start to bulldoze the American houses, shooting at them, what will we do? We are seeing it thanks to the cell phone and the news, and we are killing every news release. Whether we have the KGB, the CIA, or whoever, or the Jewish Sabbath, the point of the matter is, where is right, or what is wrong. Are we going to continue allowing our friends to be killing innocent people, invading them and taking the land, wiping them off, when the same people was rejected from 100 and something countries around the world? And if they are the descendant, as what they say, then Moses didn't find the promised land, not Joshua. Only America and Britain have found the land that called promise. But that don't look like promise. It looked like punished land, not promised land. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. I am in sympathy.
Israel has fucking harnessed the lands.
Please, excuse me 1 minute. I must say one thing. A lot of people have been murdered, annihilated because of that place called Palestine. And in 1947, they was to be in Guyana. I would have welcomed them in Guyana. But I had no choice. I was a baby. I didn't born yet, by the way. Ladies and gentlemen, let it be known. Today we also have problem in Guyana, where the descendant of India and Africa are ruling Guyana. One time is the black, one time is the Indian. But what we have went through with the black leadership under Burnham, it is not forgiven. Desmond Height was different. Mr. Army General was okay, but yet there was a lot of mix-up business here. I don't want to get into too many things. Now we have a problem in Venezuela. Mr. Maduro, according to the Latin news, is bringing up Spain, Dutch, French, and British with an agreement. But I am asking Mr. Maduro, were you from Spain? And if so be the case, then take your matter to Spain, who will take it to Britain. You are ruling a country of Venezuela belongs to the indigenous people as much as Guyana with the black and the Indian. Great-grandchildren of slavery and great-grandchildren of cheap labor. My friend, you are fighting for a country that don't belong to you. And if the British and your Spain, the Dutch and French come to an agreement, we all have to come to understand. We all have to come to understand that Guyana and Spain, or Guyana, Venezuela, does not belong to Indian and black people, and Venezuela don't belong to Spanish people. It's indigenous people. So Mr. Maduro, in due respect to you, be careful what you're asking for. Show me an Amerindian man or woman that's asking for his territory. Then you have to claim America, Texas. You have to claim Falkland, Argentina, Chile, Brazil. So come on, Maduro. What is this? You claim you from Spain and all what I'm listening to. Like Guyana, the Indian and the black talk about England. But the black man always talk about slavery. And he talk about emancipation. So he cannot represent Guyana. And I won't blame you, Mr. Maduro. But you cannot represent Venezuela neither. It must be an indigenous race. Amerindian or Buck. I condemn any nation who invade another nation and wanted to be their master. I am sorry. They are good Jews, good Palestinians, like they are good white, good blacks, good Indian, good Chinese. But sometimes when we speak, we condemn the whole nation. It's totally unfair. So what I'm saying here today, in Georgetown, Guyana, in 1966, the 26th of May, it was given independence. Why that Mr. Perez, the president of Venezuela at the time, if I remember the name, did not object to it? You get Venezuela, Maduro, you're locking up your opposition. You are no different from those in Guyana who are killing the opposition. You came from Spain. You are the great-grandchildren of thieves and pirates and whores. Like those in Guyana who are cheap labor and slaves. So what are you saying? What are you fighting for? Even though I do not like the Guyana government and the opposition because they're corrupt, I will die fighting for what is right. It's an Amerindian country. And Venezuela belongs to them too. So where are you coming from, Maduro? Did not you learn from Malis or whatever his name? Huh? Hugo Chavez was a good man. He opened up the door to Colombians and anybody. He bulldozed land and gave to Guyanese. Today, an Indian bastard in Guyana, few days ago, make a couple a young Venezuelan woman and Venezuelan man stripped naked to walk the street. I called upon the Imran government of Guyana. Hang that Indian bastard for justice. He was wrong. He had no right to do it. We have 120,000 Guyanese family living in Venezuela under Hugo Chavez, who give them land. Free water, free light. While in Guyana, they can't even get a bloody inch of land like Mokayo bulldozing it. Buxton Pleasance bulldozing it. Too many excuses. You Indian better understand Guyana is not India, nor Calcutta, nor Kashmir, or Pakistan. And you black people better understand it is not Africa. If not, we will have to speak a different language. But amongst you, just as how they are good Jewish people, and they are good Chinese and European and Indian and other races, they are good Spanish people too. But you Indian are vindictive, covetous, spiteful, and very ungrateful. I have no apology to this. But every crime you have committed against an innocent man, woman, or child, regardless of the race or the religion, you will answer it. And if you depart, your children will answer it. I didn't say that, Jesus said it. The children shall answer the sin of the parents. So, Mr. Maduro, before you try to claim 60% of Guyana, like you're claiming a piece in Colombia, it's alleged, pull your act together because you are a great-grandchild of pirates, whores, and thieves. All right? And we could tell you here, Columbus couldn't discover a country already had an indigenous race on it. He have discovered a new frontier, new way of life. They will help him. And your Spanish people were the pirates. You had a part of Jamaica called Spanish Town, and other place that I will not mention. And the British was the one was robbing you. The Portuguese, all of you was in the slave trade, and pirates on the ocean robbing ships. My friends, so Mr. Maduro, due respect to you, nobody must fight for land if you're a Spanish from Spain, Portuguese from Portugal, Africans from Africa, or Indians from India, or Chinese from China, or Portuguese from Portugal, because the Portuguese are European, the Chinese are China, and the Indians are Indian, and the European, again, got them mixed up, Portugal, Spanish, Spain, Italian, whatever, to England and France. Deal with them, Maduro. They make the decision. It's like Haiti fighting Dominican Republic over a river. When they themselves came to this part of the world as slaves, where are the indigenous people? Where are them? He who is without sin must cast the first stone, Maduro. Hugo Chavez was good, and Morales of Bolivia. Learn from them and stop this power-drunk nonsense. While in Guyana's corruption and obstruction, men like Ramjatan, Nagamutu, and many more. And I have a message for Mr. Norton. Be careful with those who hug you. Brutus killed Caesar. Judas sold Jesus. And Peter said he didn't know him. Be careful with those who was against you from childhood. And because they didn't become prime minister and president, they were kicked out from the PPP and they formed AFC after fooling the country and fooling the coolie. Okay, Ramjatan? Two mountains don't meet, but two men will. But our hands are clean. Look at it. It's clean. We will never forgive you unless we get justice. And I'm calling upon the Ali government to look into it. Because, and for that Indian bastard that stripped the Venezuelan couple naked as they're born and called them a thief and drive them into the street to walk, he must be tried. And if convicted, execute the bastard. Execute him.
Stop it.
Let me tell you why, Mr. Ali. 120,000 Guyanese family is in the mercy of the Venezuelan if you don't do something about this. If you don't do something about this, I don't blame the Venezuelan for killing them out. And who? It will be you, because your wife and children, your family are in Lenora and other place. So wake your ass up. No apology to that word. And do what is right. Execute that bastard for what he done to that couple. Because they are from Venezuela into Guyana, and he stripped them naked, called them thief, and put it on Facebook. Do you know what he have created? If he had done that to the Jews, we would have got 2 bombs already. If he had done that to the Americans, they would have wiped Guyana out. So I'm calling upon you to do something about it. We need justice. Same as in Guyana. A young Indian boy who live in Venezuela. He was murdered and cut to pieces. And I call upon you, Maduro, find that killer. Find that killer. The only difference from you and I, you speak Spanish, I speak English. I may not like what is happening in Guyana, but I will not sit down idle and allow nonsense on your side neither. Because you lock up your opposition, you kill your opponent. According to information is alleged. And I don't care anything if you got a problem. Get Spain to talk to England and the Dutch and the French. Because you inherit what don't belong to nobody. England don't own no part of Latin and South America and Caribbean. France don't own any. Spain don't own any. So take it from me. They were all pirates, thieves, robbers, and today we have to fight each other for what, Maduro? Answer me. But in Guyana we have a problem. The blacks keep emancipation. Every year we are emancipated. Get back to Africa, please. That's why Maduro is doing what he's doing, because he knows you are not a Guyanese. You stupid bastard. Wake up! And you Indian, you arrived. Isn't your visa run out? What is immigration doing? They should start to pick up all of you and put you on a boat and send you back to India. You were born in Guyana. Accept your birthrights. Only you Indian and black talking this bullshit. Accept where you were born. Our ancestor might be from China, might be from the moon, who knows? But we were born in that country, and therefore we must defend it by all costs. So you are not emancipated, you are constipated. And you didn't arrive, you derived. You bloody bastards. The man have a right to claim the whole country, not only 60%, because you all are not accepting the country. And he who knows that he was a slave, or his ancestor was a slave, slaving the indigenous people is a curse to your generation. And he who knows that he arrived as a cheap labor and exploiting the natives of the country, the Satan, the devil are waiting for his angel, you bastards.
Bastards!
Wake the hell up! Guyana, Venezuela, Brazil, any part does not belong to the Spanish, the Dutch, the French, the English, and others. It belongs to the indigenous people. Africa belongs to black people. India belongs to Indian people divided by religion. Pakistan, Afghanistan, but yet you can't understand. Huh? China belongs to Chinese. Come on, Maduro. Was not Spain once ruled a country called the Philippines? Why y'all don't go and claim that? Let them have them Chinese eat y'all out. Come on. You are biting more than you can chew, Maduro. Stop it. Yeah. The Venezuelans are allowed to go into Guyana as the Guyanese is allowed to go into Venezuela and Brazil. We are all great-grandchildren of foreigners. Thieves from Spain, thieves from England, thieves from France,
Thieves!
and thieves from others.
Thieves!
So the great-grandchildren of slavery got the emancipation.
Thieves!
And the great-grandchildren of arrival, stop it. You were born in Guyana, okay? Same goes to Maduro. They are good Venezuelan, Spanish. They are good people and they are bad people in every society. But again, what is wrong, what is right. Today, we live to see in Israel, the bombs are dropping, people are getting killed, all the hospitals are being blown up. They even killing the journalists, blowing up the ambulance. And our government in the United States that believe in human rights and democracy are supporting such a barbaric act. If the UN got 200 people, 160 is against it. So what's going up? What's going on here? Come on, man. We condemn Donald Trump, but we are not looking what is happening.
We'll blow you up.
If these people is not a part of corruption, obstruction, and destruction,
Greed.
I call upon you to stop it.
Greed.
Let's unite and make this world a better place.
Stop the greed.
Because America right now is losing their ally around the world.
No.
The whole Africa is about to change
No.
into China or Russia.
Hell no.
The whole Africa today are taking money from China. And if you can't pay, they take your land like what they do in Uganda when they take the airport. They will give it to Pakistan and do the same. Because Pakistan have problem with India over the area. My friends, all of us are only here for a short time. Why killing one another? Why fighting each other? So I called upon the Guyana government to stand firm. The opposition is complaining that a lot of Venezuelans coming into Guyana. And the ruling party, Barajagdio, met with the Venezuelan, and he's claiming they are Guyanese because the family are Guyanese and they're migrating back to Guyana and they have a right to citizenship. I don't blame him. But again, who making the decision? Is he? It's an Amerindian country. So I call upon you, Mr. Barajagdio, Mr. Norton, Mr. Ali, call the Amerindian together, the 9 tribes, and let them protest and picket. They could even claim Caracas, Rio de Janeiro, even Suriname, and other because they are the first people.
Justice.
If y'all continue like this,
Justice.
then this world doesn't mean anything. So I
Justice.
call upon all the young women. If you are pregnant, have an abortion, because your children will be whores and thieves, slaves and beggars for what these corrupt people are doing around the world.
Yeah.
All right?
Justice.
So I call upon our President, Joe Biden, and the Congress of America to stand firm and don't take sides. If you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're right, you're right.
Stay out of
America
it,
must exist because it's the only country that opened up the border to bring you sick, bring you weak, whatever, through Ellis Island. And therefore, yes, we have our differences, but we cannot continue fighting 200 years battle that we read from history and we are witnessing it. So I call upon all you young women who are pregnant now, have an abortion. Tell them George told you that. All your children shall become whores and slaves, beggars, thieves, and gangsters. Because you don't see what's going on? Look what's going on.
Whores.
Is that what you want? Come on.
Hell no.
If you believe in God Almighty, they are good Jewish people. They are bad ones too. They are good Arab people. They are bad ones too. They are good Chinese. They are bad ones too. They are good European. They are bad ones too. They are good black people, but they are bad ones too. There's
Not
life.
everyone is poor.
There's good and bad in everything.
No.
Okay? Let me ask you all something because you all are scientists.
Yeah.
Put 20 eggs under a hen to set, to get chicken. Sometimes 2 and 3 spoil. If you put 20, you get 18. If you put 12, you might get 9. Because some spoil. It's just like human. In every 100 human, you might get 20 good and the rest is no good. You might get 80 good and the rest is no good. Friends, who are you and I to criticize and condemn where we could unite this world and make it a paradise? We are only here temporary. I would have welcomed the Jews in Guyana now to deal with the Indian and the black. The black in Guyana are very racial. Very ready to attack and kill and burn. But again, out of 200 or something thousand, I got your blood in me. 70 to 85,000 genuine human beings. God can open heaven. No problem. The rest is garbage. Uneducated. Live like parasites. Only want handout. Want to pregnant their own black sisters and say child mother and child father. That's why the educated keep far from y'all. While the Indian now, well, I must be honest, out of 240 something thousand, y'all are the majority. Maybe if we got 20,000, 23,000 good, well then Guyana, sun will shine all the way to heaven. Because this two race got to stop your bullshit. Where did the Portuguese came from? He was a slave. Where the Chinese came from? Do your history. So I think Mr. Ali, you the president, ban emancipation, ban day of arrival, unite your people under one Guyana. Get more Amerindian and the mixed race in your party to speak out against what's happening. Because you are the great-grandchildren of cheap labor, and you are also accepting it every year when you celebrate the arrival day. And if you're black, Mr. Norton, you can't represent Guyana because it's not yours or your ancestor owned. They came as a slave and you accept it every year to be emancipated. Well, you're free, brother. Take your crew and go back to Africa. Moses take his wife and he take his own when he crossed the Red Sea and he leave none in Egypt. If you're a Christian and you don't believe what I'm saying, run through your Bible. If not, give it away or throw it in the corner. Don't touch it. And if you're a Muslim and you don't believe in the teaching of Prophet Muhammad, give the Quran away. And if you are a great Catholic and Christian or Jews and you don't believe in the teaching of Jesus, when he say, do unto others as you like them do unto you, then give up the book. Give up. But my condolence go out to the innocent men, women, and children in Israel and Palestine. I look at a video. A young Jewish woman condemned the Palestinians so bad. And yes, if you go to the Bible, the Arab have a very nasty way of dealing with people in the past. They were the one who slaved many of the prophets. They are the one who killing each other. Why are we fighting for land? Especially in the Caribbean, Latin and South America. And how can we tell other nations when these people were rescued in the 1947 to 48 in the Palestinian country? Why are we killing so many people, innocent people? So when you talk about Hamas, Taliban, and whatever band, it's the children who grow up to hate those who do it to the family and they want to retaliate in revenge. But how many years and time must we sit down to allow people to fight each other when others who born have nothing to do with it? All these corrupt politicians hide in bunkers. Let them put on a uniform and go to the battlefield. They ain't going nowhere. Let them send their children. They ain't going nowhere. In America, they will send the white people. They will send the poor black people and the Spanish and whoever, while they're hiding and drinking champagne, and the family here but the dead body and they feel the pain. Friends, today I ask of you, let's stop this what happening in Israel, Palestine. Stop the war in Ukraine. Stop the border dispute around the world.
No, they won't.
Especially if you're in Africa, you could argue for Africans because Africa ruled by black people. Africa ruled by black people. India ruled by Indians. China ruled by Chinese. Well, today I see in England there's an Indian prime minister.
Piece of shit, YouTube.
But let's keep democracy alive and humanity, my friends. I am sorry if I offend any one of you.
No,
but,
fuck that.
But we are all human beings and want it to be fair. And to live and enjoy God's world. by love and unity and save our brothers and sisters, regardless of the culture, the race, or the nationality, or the languages.
Racist ass YouTube.
For we are all God's chosen children.
Racist
All right.
YouTube.
Well, according to a member screaming out there by YouTube, if you are playing game with this message, may God have mercy upon you.
Racist YouTube.
But give the news out because we hate nobody. We want peace. All right?
We want truth.
Peace. Let's
Truth.
stop talk about slavery, cheap labor,
We want
and
truth.
unite
We
and
want
bring the
truth.
truth forward. Long live the American democracy and the human rights struggle. And let's vote for what is right for America and not those who shake our hands
Truth.
and destroy us later. For America is still a great country amongst the rest. May God be with all of you. And I am your host, George Goliath. Have a good night.